Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. That'll be taken in the end zone. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 45 yards. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now they try the right side here. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. At the 31-yard line. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Check.
Now a handoff working right. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Brings up 3rd down and
9. 45. Round 80. Mike, 45. You ready, me? You middle. Let's go, baby. 45 to Mike. 45 to
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Open man, it's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Jump. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. That's 10. 61, matchbox lights.
Allen now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Hey, home. 45, Mike, 45. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 6-6. Pull it high. Check. Half. Watch twins. Hey, Haywood. 45.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 37.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Double dog. That's the way.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Most certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. 99 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and the 49ers are out to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now they try the right side here, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, echo.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2nd and 3. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a give, right side. Slade. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Hey, that's good. 5. 49.
2nd and 5. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on a minute.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Check 50. Check 50.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air. Allen. Going to throw right side here. Complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, and Walker has it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, it's Allen. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up for the offense. Certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46.
Check 13.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
You draw Porter. Watch the safety creep.
They'll run on 1st down. Slade. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Let's go. 8, read. Kill. Shit. SOS. Hey, lock it. Snap.
On 3rd down, Slade. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
You got three. Three down. Hey, Ray 19. Check mark 45. Watch the run. Watch the middle. Check 99. Hey, Alpha. Alert. 45, Mike, 45. Come to my world. We won.
A final shot before half for Allen. Going deep here for Allen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on third and long. Now Allen to throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. Slade. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Regular. Fresno.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
.45. Mike, 45. Let's go, D. Tighten it.
Now Allen. Going deep for Walker. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Slade, and an alley to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 24.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. You ain't doing nothing today.
That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for 2nd down.
At the 32-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60 or. Pick up the ball. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Set, ready? 90, wolf. 49. Here we go. Watch the edge. Defense.
On 3rd down, Slade shreds the tackle. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Allen now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Throwing now is Allen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Check pass. Check pass.
On first down, Slade. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second and 1. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's third and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Allen on third down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Come on, hey, check 25.
Allen will look to throw for it on fourth. And this is incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on fourth down. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Ready? 50, plant. 49 to Mike. Stop your whining. Check 4. Get it.
They'll run on first down. Slade, and he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Second and 9 now. Escaping the pressure right. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Now the ball comes loose, and this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Rosas puts this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The Bills on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. Now Allen. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Allen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. And again, it's Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. The intended receiver there, Allen.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now back to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
It feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Three down. Hit it.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Kill.
And a give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?